The Enemy, Class 12, Lesson number 4, Vistas Textbook, Literature Section, English Core Course. Hello everyone, welcome back to Shalini English Classes. This is Shalini Sharma, your English teacher. Hope you all are doing well and learning English through my YouTube channel. In this Part 2 video, I will be explaining next part of the story, The Enemy, which is lesson number 4 of Vistas Textbook. But before I initiate my topic, I would like to request all of you to like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel, that is Shalini English Classes, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. The reason is that you will be getting notifications and updates for my new uploads. So students, please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. So let's start with the introduction of this lesson, The Enemy. The enemy brings to the forefront the dilemma faced by individuals when their personal choices come in conflict with their roles as citizens. This story, The Enemy, is an anti-war story set against the background of World War II. This story beautifully depicts how a human being rises above his prejudices to help a wounded enemy. So somewhere it is a heart-rending portrayal of the conflict between a man's heart and mind. Here you will get to know about the author. The author is Pearl S. Buck. Pearl S. Buck was an American writer and novelist. She spent most of her life before 1934 in China. Her novel, The Good Earth, was the best-selling fiction in the USA in 1931 and she won Pulitzer Prize in 1932. Here you can understand the theme of the lesson, The Enemy. The author, Pearl S. Buck, stresses on the fact that humanity is one of the values which is above all other values prevalent in the world. It requires one to overcome prejudices and hatred, especially against one's enemies. So, the lesson deals with the theme of humanity, sense of professional loyalty and nationalism. Now here, let's have a quick recapitulation of the story which was covered in part 1 video. So what we got to know? Dr. Sedao and his wife Hannah stood outside their house. A man suddenly appears out of the ocean. They ran towards him and to their shock, he was an American prisoner of war who was badly wounded and had become unconscious. Now Dr. Sedao is torn between his duty as a doctor and his loyalty towards his country, Japan. As citizens having a sense of national loyalty, they felt it their duty to put the men back into the sea. However, soon they rose above narrow prejudices and brought the men into their house. Now, after that, what happened? This we all would be learning in this part 2 video. So let's proceed further with the next part of the story. So here we get to know that the unhealthy pale appearance of the unconscious man's face moved him first to stoop and feel his pulse. It was faint, but it was there. He put his hand against the man's cold chest. The heart too was yet alive. Now Dr. Sedao observed that he would die unless operated upon. The man was very young, perhaps not even 25. And the men had to be washed first. Here we get to know that Hannah informed her servants about American prisoner. But the servants were afraid and they disliked their master for helping the American. An old gardener feels that the sea would take revenge on Dr. Sedao if he helps the enemy. In this paragraph, we get to know that Hannah ordered her maidservant Yumi to fetch the hot water into the room of American prisoner to wash him. But Yumi, the babysitter, refuses to wash the white men, particularly an American prisoner of war. Hannah assures the servants that the enemy will be handed over to the police, but the servants remain unconvinced. In this paragraph, we get to know that Hannah gets angry when Yumi refuses to wash the white men. Now, there was no other option. Hannah had to wash the white man. Although she dislikes the American, hates to touch him, but she cleans him and gets him ready for operation. In this paragraph, we get to know that Hannah washed the men till his upper body was quite clean. Now Dr. Sedao put his instruments upon a sterilized towel and he began to wash the men's back carefully. Now all the arrangements were set up for the operation as Dr. Sedao decides to operate and he gets his emergency bag. Now this paragraph is in continuation of the last paragraph. We get to know that Dr. Sedao is getting ready for the operation of American prisoner and he asked Hannah to help him to turn him over. Now that time Hannah informed Dr. Sedao that Yumi would not wash the back of American prisoner and Dr. Sedao then confirmed Hannah who washed American prisoner earlier. So that time Hannah informed Dr. Sedao that yes, it was she who had washed him. Here in this paragraph, Dr. Sedao is busy in operation and unmindful of so many other things. And he asked Hannah to give the anesthesia if he needed it. Here we get to know that Hannah feels giddy to see so much blood. She choked. She clapped her hands to her mouth and ran out of the room. And Dr. Sedao heard her vomiting in the garden. Actually, Hannah had never seen an operation and this much blood. In this paragraph, we get to know that Dr. Sedao proceeded swiftly. Hannah came back in the room and asked for anesthesia. Then Dr. Sedao asked Hannah to saturate the cotton and hold it near the nostrils of American prisoner of war. And she had to move it away a little when he breathed badly. Now in this paragraph, Dr. Sedao is busy in operation and Hannah looks at American prisoner of war. American was in deep pain. The man appears to have been tortured a lot. So while applying medicine to the young soldier as Dr. Sedao operated upon him, Hannah wondered if the stories of torture of prisoner of wars were true. She then remembered how General Takima ruthlessly beat his wife. And Hannah deduced that if General Takima could be so cruel to his wife, he could as well be extremely cruel to a prisoner. The deep red scars on the white man's neck confirmed her apprehension. Now in this paragraph, Dr. Sedao was concentrating hard on locating the bullet. He felt the tip of his probing instrument strike against something hard. dangerously near the kidney. Now he was filled with the purest pleasure at the success of his skill. He thought only of curing his patient, and that was American prisoner, and did not answer even his wife's query. Now this is the last paragraph for this part of video, and here we get to know that with the cleanest and most precise incision the bullet was out. But the American men quivered and he was still unconscious. Dr. Sedau gave him an injection and the man's pulse grew stronger. So till here I am explaining you the story The Enemy. Now for further part of the story you have to wait for my next video. I hope you must have understood the content of story till here, and I would advise all of you to please read the lesson The Enemy thoroughly. After explanation of the content of the lesson The Enemy for this part of video, now I am sharing with you assignment number 2. You all are supposed to do this assignment in your fair notebooks in legible handwriting. I have attached the same assignment with the description box of this video. So students, kindly do this assignment in your fair notebooks in legible handwriting after understanding the content properly. In the end, I would like to inform all of you that in this part 2 video, I have explained the next part of the story of the lesson The Enemy. Now for understanding of the content of part 1 video, you have to watch it. Now here I would like to inform all of you that I have made separate playlist for all the lessons of literature section of both books, that is Flamingo and Vistas. The links of all the videos and playlists have been given in the description box of this video also. So students, keep watching English videos and learn English through my YouTube channel. So that's all from my side for today's topic. Hope you must have understood the concept clearly. Once again a reminder, students, please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel, that is Shalini English Classes by your teacher Shalini Sharma. Thanks for watching this video. Take very good care of yourselves. Stay safe.